Hi, I'm Matt Pike, and I'm delighted to introduce you to MiniFreak, Arturia's unconventional hybrid synthesizer. In this video, I'll give you an overview of the synth, focusing on some of its best features, and showing you some examples of how great it sounds. Let's dive in. MiniFreak is a 6-voice polyphonic hybrid synthesizer that combines 2 digital oscillators with multiple synthesis methods, a multi-mode analog filter, powerful modulation capabilities, a creative sequencer and arpeggiator, and cutting-edge digital effects, all of which takes the Freak concept to new heights. It also comes with an external audio input for creative processing of external sources, a 3-octave slim key keyboard with velocity and aftertouch, 2 macro sliders, spice and dice randomizers, a crisp LED screen, chord mode, and much more. Producers, musicians, sound designers, pay attention. MiniFreak is something truly unique. Now, before I dive into how it all works, let's play a few presets to see what we're dealing with. MiniFreak's signal path starts with 2 powerful digital oscillators. These multi-engine oscillators can generate a huge variety of flavors to provide the building blocks for your sounds. We have 6 voices of polyphony, which we can even stack in unison to get huge and powerful results. Or increase that to 12 playable voices available in paraphonic mode. There are 17 different sound engines to use, making use of various synthesis methods, from classic analog emulations to abstract digital methods such as superwaves, additive synthesis, FM, modal resonators, and cut-plus-strong. The oscillator section features 3 sound-shaping orange potentiometers called wave, timbre, and shape that have a different behavior for each sound engine. We'll dive deeper into all these engine modes in the oscillator and filter video, but for now, let's play a few to give you an impression of the sonic palette that's available. You can toggle between the two oscillators with the select button, select the engine mode with the type encoder, and use volume to set the level of the oscillators. We also have some unique engine modes for each oscillator to expand their capabilities further. The first oscillator can receive external signal from the audio input on the back of the machine and process it through the rest of the synth and its effects, while the second oscillator has 6 engine modes which can filter and process the output of oscillator 1 for even more sonic experimentation. For instance, you can use oscillator 1 as a frequency modulation or ring modulation source over oscillator 2, which opens up the door for some really complex modern timbres. And of course, it can be used to create more mellow and delicate sounds when used more moderately. Other processing modules specific to oscillator 2 include multi-mode and surgeon filters, a comb filter, a phaser filter, and a destroy module, which combines 3 digital distortion types. All these allow for even more tonal variety, achieving colours and timbres of a unique nature. Let's listen. For a detailed walkthrough of the oscillators section, make sure to watch the dedicated tutorial on Arturia's YouTube channel. The Mini Freak also features 6 voices of the same smooth-sounding multi-mode analog filter found in the Micro Freak, with a filter envelope control linked to the main VCA envelope to help you quickly get those classic synth sounds. Playing with Mini Freak's tonal variety is fun in itself, but becomes even better once we start to put things into motion with the advanced yet intuitive modulation matrix present on the left side of the panel. We have 7 modulation sources in total: 2 envelopes, 2 LFOs, a shared velocity aftertouch source, mod wheel, and keyboard follow with various modes. We also have 4 pre-assigned destinations and 9 more user-assignable ones. These bring you closer to your sounds with expressive control and inject a sense of life and movement. Let's hear how I got this basic patch, moving by mapping LFO1 and LFO2 to the first 4 hardwired modulation destinations: pitch, wave 1, timbre 1, and filter cutoff. Now why don't we get a little bit more interest to this modulation by having LFO2 influence LFO1's rate. To do this, simply press one of the assigned buttons and then wiggle the LFO1 rate knob. Now the display has shown us our newly created routing, let's assign it. Now let's try and add some expression to this sound with the velocity and aftertouch mod source. I'll turn the filter down and add some velocity routing to it. We've barely scratched the surface here of what modulations Mini Freak is capable of. To get a detailed insight into the modulation matrix and modulators themselves, make sure to watch a dedicated tutorial. For instance, we'll look at how we can draw our own LFO wave shapes using the LFO Shaper to get patches like this. The effects in MiniFreak contribute hugely to its unique sound. They are found at the end of the signal path and offer a rich variety of sonic characters. You get time-based effects, modulators, distortion, as well as EQ and dynamic effects. There are 3 effects slots, so you can use up to 3 different effects at the same time. Let's listen to a few presets which really show off how much they add to the MiniFreak sound. As you can see, each effect has time, intensity, and amount controls. And like the oscillator controls, these are different depending on which effect is chosen. What's great is, of course, that these effects can be modulated from the mod matrix. For instance, let's get an LFO modulating the delay time control for some nice pitching effects. On the bottom left of the MicroFreak, we also have 2 touch strips. These have 3 modes: pitch bend and mod wheel, macros, and sequencer, spice, and dice. The macro mode offers even more expressive control over your sounds, allowing you to assign up to 4 parameters to each of the 2 macro strips. This can result in sweeping, drastic changes of your sound, all at your fingertips. Let's listen to a few presets and see how they use the macros in interesting ways. MiniFreak features a polyphonic sequencer and arpeggiator ready to help you get the most out of its 6 voices. The arpeggiator's playback modes and effects are all laid out along the sequencer buttons just above the keyboard, so they become part of a performance. This includes the repeat, ratchet, and mutate controls for really twisting up a pattern. The repeat function will repeat each note present in the art pattern, like this. The ratchet will increase the rate of the notes being played. While mutate gradually evolves the current notes in the pattern every time it's pressed. As mentioned, MiniFreak Sequencer is polyphonic with up to 6 notes per step and can be up to 64 steps long. We also have 4 lanes of modulation sequencing, so we can inject even more movement into our presets. Last but not least, let's talk about the various sound editing options available in MiniFreak. By pressing the sound edit button, users get access to many features that enhance the functionality of almost all the elements of the synth. These can also be accessed via a quick shortcut of holding the sound edit button and pressing any of the switches on the front panel. For instance, in the oscillator settings, we can define the quantization mode when modulating each oscillator. By default, pitch changes continuously, but it can also be set to chromatic, major, minor, or even octaves. Another example is in the envelope menu. We can determine how much velocity affects envelope to VCA, VCF, or both, allowing us to save mod matrix slots while gaining more expressive control. These are only two of the many extra options available in the sound edit menus. For more of this information, make sure to watch its dedicated tutorial. So I hope this brief overview has given you a taste of what this synth is capable of. For more details on each of its modules, make sure to head to Arturia's YouTube channel to watch the remaining tutorials. And if you've enjoyed what you've just heard and seen, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.